Hello, I'm Chad Otinga.
And I'm Justin Harpster, and here's my ticket stub for As It Is in Heaven.
We went and saw it on Wednesday, November 12th. That's the date.
2014. Well, let's get started, Chad.
All right.
Did you like this play? Did you dislike it? Did you think it was funny or weird? And why do you feel that way?
Honestly, I was not a fan of this play at all. This is what I think of when I think of theater. And by that, it sounds crazy and kind of snobby, but theater to me has just always been boring and slow, and that's what this was. It was kind of boring and slow. I felt like each song was almost the same each time they sang. The same people were on the stage all at once, coming in and off. There's no set changes. Besides little things like benches and stools and stuff like that. So to me, I didn't like this play. I didn't like it. And this play, compared to Living Dead in Denmark, what would you say?
Oh, complete opposites, at least for me, because The Living Dead in Denmark did a really good job, applying to our kind of audience and making it interesting and have us pay attention because something's always happening. It almost seemed like we were watching a movie instead of a play.
Yeah, and the audience was more engaged in Living Dead in Denmark.
And for As It Is in Heaven, there was, at least for me, it was very hard for me to find out what the plot was, where this whole thing was going, where there was the problems. Yeah, they had the outsider, but that was the only problem I could see within the play, and everything else just seemed kind of be background play. It didn't seem like I had a purpose the entire time as it was going through.
Yeah,
which for me made it a lot harder to pay attention. And then also, I'm not a big fan of musicals, so that also make it a little bit hard. But
that was one thing that Living Dead in Denmark. I haven't seen a musical that I've actually liked, and Living Dead in Denmark was one.
But the acting in the play was phenomenal, as always. They did a great job. You can tell they put in a lot of work, so I don't want to talk bad on them, but I think the storyline, they could have made it a little bit more interesting, at least for our sort of audience out on college campus.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah, we could both agree we preferred Living Dead in Denmark over this play.
Yes.
So, very well done. So, how does this difference change your opinion on theater and the theater experience?
Well, I think we just kind of went over that and touched that subject. Theater has always been, to me, boring. That's just what the name theater has been. Living Dead in Denmark in this class has changed my view of theater, but this play was kind of, from my point of view and from my ass, I say it was a boring play. It put me to sleep, and there's nothing. There was no spark. It was just plain, and my attention span wasn't there. So this play is yet another example of group power in response to an outsider to the majority. How does this play stack up against the other works we've read this semester? Talk about how you responded to the actions of other characters in response to Fanny.
Well, the first thing that I thought of when I saw the outsider getting pushed away was enemy of the people. That's the first one I thought of. It's just the clear example of how when one person stands up for what they truly believe, everybody kind of questions them, why aren't you going against the normal? And I think As It Is in Heaven was an extreme example of going against a group, because that group is so tightly knit together, and they have to follow such strict rules that when one person goes off, it's kind of everybody really scrutinizes them. So I was kind of the people definitely acted exactly how I expected them to, as in completely shunning away the outsider and pushing them away because it's just a small knit group. They have to follow these rules. What do you think?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that one, and that aspect of slowly pushing them out and making them seen as different. And what I also liked in the play was how the actors, they were so holy and stuff, but they would talk behind the sister's back and talk trash and stuff like that.
That was a good part they added into that part. I like that. Which character did you respond most strongly towards, either positive or negatively? And was it the character itself or the way the actress represented the character that caused your reaction?
I responded the most to, I can't remember her name. She's in our class. It was the youngest. Yeah, it was the youngest of all of the girls, and probably just because I don't know, she was into it. I think it was definitely her acting. She looked like a little kid. it was funny to see that, and she just played a really good role in her emotions. She was sad when she was sad, and happy when she was happy. You could just see it in her face. She did a really well job acting, so I think she did an awesome job. So did you feel most for Fanny, or did one of the other women have more impact? Why? And connect what you feel to specific moments in the play that might help your argument.
I don't know, that's kind of a tough question because you want to feel for the outsider because they're standing up for what they really believe in, but then you also kind of want to stand up for the group in this because they're so tightly knit and they believe so strongly in one thing that when somebody goes against it, they don't really know what to do about it.
Yeah, faith.
So I have to go like half and half because they believe so hard in something, and then when somebody else says something that goes against it, I wouldn't know how to react if I was in their position. So
Yeah,
I kind of feel for both, kind of equally. I'd have to say. What do you think?
I am right there with you on that one. And that'll do it.
I'll do it.
See you in class.